Before getting into the details of how the internet works, it's first useful to have a common definition of what a network even can be defined as. So you may want to introduce your students to a common definition as a network being a collection of computers that are connected through some kind of media and whose purpose is to share and transmit data. So 3 different types of networks that are mentioned here on this slide. A local area network is a network that is sort of limited in its geography, maybe to a building or within a small company, to a virtual private network where that local area network may be shared, the private network may be shared across some kind of public means like the internet. And the internet itself being a very wide area network that's a collection of networks and various ways in which those connections may occur. That'll be the topic of discussion throughout these next few lessons. So the components of a network are many. So we'll show a visual in just a moment, but just textually here, a network is composed of clients who make requests for services and servers that then receive those requests and process them. At each client and each server are network interface cards, which are the cards within the computers or the devices that enable Ethernet or some other form of communication media. A network operating system helps to coordinate and direct the flow of messages and all the different kinds of transmissions across the network. The connection medium itself is the actual physical wiring or wireless ways in which the information is flowing. And a hub or switch can connect different computers within a small network. And then routers are more important in terms of allowing a collection of devices to be able to branch out and talk to other networks and other localities. So this is a visual depiction of what was just said previously, where we have PCs or clients that are connected through switches that have a server and also connections to routers that then provide the links out into other networks that are on the internet. And network interface cards that are the actual cards within the device that are providing the linkage through the medium. Different kinds of topologies for networks, from the star topology to ring topology to bus topologies. These are just different ways in which the different nodes, the devices, are connected through the links or the wiring, and different ways and strategies in which they have to share that commonly open network and be able to transmit the messages and agree upon different protocols and standards for that. And we'll discuss that coming up in a future lesson. So in terms of the physical connection media, this refers to things like for using a phone modem, the actual phone line that might be used to connect the device to the phone outlet or to the modem, or coaxial cables that would be like typical cable installation, down to faster things like fiber optics and optical networks. And then there's also wireless transmissions such as microwave and satellites and even cellular telephones, how you may have your smartphone that can help connect, or you can tether your phone to that and be able to access the internet over your phone through a hotspot or some other tethered connection to a cell phone. So packet switching is a very important topic within the internet and the way that messages are broadcast through the internet. And we have referenced in this lesson an exercise that you should try with your students. So the idea of packet switching is the ability to take a large message and then break it down into smaller separate units called packets, and each packet is then sent across the network, then reassembled back when it reaches its destination. So upon arrival to destination, the packets may have arrived in different orders, so it's the job of the receiver to be able to put those packets back in order and be able to recompose the message as it's received. So packet switching is interesting because it's very dynamic. As the packets are moving across the network, they may take different paths to reach the destination, almost like traffic jams and being able to reroute traffic. Often a packet will determine to go a different route than some of the other packets in that same message, just based upon certain network conditions. So this is an animation that shows 3 different packets of the same message being sent throughout different routers and nodes and then arriving back at the host on the other side. So just a depiction visually of the things that occur with packet switching. One important thing to notice about, or to be aware about in terms of packets, is the idea of packet sniffers. So especially when information is going through wireless modes, packet sniffers are mechanisms that allow you to be able to detect and look at packets as they're bypassing through your computer on ways to other computers. So especially in terms of wireless communication, these packet sniffers can provide a hacker or an onlooker information about your message if it's encoded just in plain text. So referring back to the lessons on privacy and cryptography and encryption, the importance of being able to encrypt your message in this case, because there could be someone using a packet sniffer that could be looking at your data. So there's a really interesting video that's referenced here, so I encourage you to look at this, and we'll move on into future lessons where we discuss more about how the internet works.